Hello, welcome to the Center for Indigenous Theatre's Program Information Session. My name is Mike and I am the Office Manager at CIT. Just an overview of what we are going to be talking about today. We will be speaking about the history of CIT, the program, and the outline of the upcoming school year, as well as our health and safety protocols. We will also run you through the application and ongoing enrollment requirements. Throughout the duration of the info session, our students will also be showcasing their skills. Also, we were able to sit down with one of our alumni, Jeanette Kwayok-Shi, and talk to her about her time as a student at the Center for Indigenous Theatre.
Tanze Tawayo, Kitsune Nitsigasen, Neya Nehio. My name is Kitsune. I am the offspring of a residential school survivor. Many of the students here have similar stories where their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents went to residential schools, where our culture, our language, and identity was stripped from us. Our practice is forbidden. Today I'm here to give thanks by doing a land acknowledgement and thanking the caretakers that came before us. But instead of doing a specific acknowledgement, I put down some tobacco today for you to have a safe journey and to enjoy the show. If you'd like to know whose land you're currently occupying, check out these two resources here. So whether you're here in Ontario, in Toronto like the students, or nationwide, giving thanks to those who came before us means that we are giving thanks to our ancestors and the many generations who came before us today.
Hi, my name's Kayana Garcia and I'm the Health and Safety and Office Assistant at CIT. CIT was founded by James Buller and was originally a 6-week program called Native Theatre School. The Native Theatre School was then renamed Center for Indigenous Theatre in 1994. We went on to become a full-time program in 1999. We then expanded to a 3-year program in 2002 and then added a 4th year in 2018.
CIT is a post-secondary program that provides training in acting, voice, and movement. We also offer cultural classes that are focused on dance, song, and oral history. We have partnerships across Canada that we are able to utilize throughout the year. Our students are able to participate in land-based teachings with the Bajmajig storytellers in Manitowoc and Onomatoxy and Nipissing First Nations.
Now it's time for our first student video. 4th year student Teresa Cutknife has created a 6-part series. Here's part 2. Let's take a look at what she's created.
Hello? Hi. I mean, I don't know. I'm okay, I guess. I left the house for the first time yesterday. Had a mild panic attack. I started crying before I left the block, because prior to that I was in my house for like a solid 15, almost 16 days. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was just a lot because of like everything that's happening, and like I don't know. Like it feels so crazy, and I was wearing gloves. I had my mask. I even like was wearing a hoodie and I like tied it around my neck, and just so I was completely covered, and it was absolute craziness just to try and get into the grocery store. I was trying to be as quick as possible, but trying to be aware of people, and no one was following these arrows or anything, and it was just I want to go home. I know I want to, but I can't risk that. I can't risk being on a plane, and I don't want to I don't want to get you or anyone else sick. I don't know. If there's a way we can, I'll let you know and I can figure it out, but no. I could barely get off the block. I highly doubt I could be on a plane. I don't even know if planes are even flying out right now. Do you know? Okay, well, I have to go, but I'll talk to you soon, okay? Love you.
You know, Kayana, our students are pretty talented. Don't you agree?
I agree. It's always wonderful to watch Teresa.
So just an outline of the upcoming school year. Now we're going to be talking about the next cohort of first-year students. They will start school in September. They will begin with an orientation period of CIT and Toronto. Students will then enter full-time training with a winter break in between their studies. Our first years will then return to training from January until May, leading up to their graduation.
Due to COVID-19, special protocol has been put into place. This includes, but not limited to, mandatory social distancing and facial coverings, as well as sanitization and screening before entering CIT studios. The health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff members is of the utmost importance.
Here are two versions of what your class schedule might look like this upcoming school year. As you can see, one schedule includes 100% in-person training and the other schedule includes a mixture of 60% online training and 40% in-person training. As our current health and safety regulations continue to develop, your training may be influenced by COVID-19. You have a variety of classes at CIT including dance, voice, physical theater, singing, and story creation.
Now it's time for our interview with Jeanette. We were able to sit down with Jeanette and talk to her a little bit about her time at CIT.
I want to ask you, you've already said you've met a few people already, Herbie Barnes and Lee Miracle. Did you make a lot of connections while you were at CIT?
CIT at the time, the cohort was one of the first cohorts where it was just all women. It was kind of a curious cohort. It was rare, where it was just all women. It was only when I moved back to Toronto that I made those connections. And with my grant success with AMPAVA, CIT became super helpful in being able to help me identify local talent, right, that we could work with. So CIT became a very, very important to putting me in the right direction of the who's who. And what was nice about the CIT and AMPAVA connection is that AMPAVA was the Native Theatre school. They were like, that was their flagship event. And apparently they had a really auspicious international gathering of Indigenous theater people once upon a time, which would still be cool to see. But that was a bit of a one-off and a lot of work, because inviting people in from out of the country is a lot of work to navigate. But I found the networks for like and I also knew Rose, Stella, and other social networks. We knew some of the same, puppet people, storytelling people, and my former husband that, the love story that went south, super connected to the storytelling community and giant puppet, I don't know, all the people over at Dufferin Grove Park, like, can't remember, Clay and Puppet. Yeah, lots of clay and paper. So Chris had lots of connections. In fact, for his 50th birthday, all these years I know him, I got a parade permit to shut our street down, and all his friends showed up, and it made him cry because he kept talking about all these giant puppet people and music people and theater people, and Rose was among that crowd. So just lots of like similar networks at large in the arts community that have helped
you get to where you are today. Nice. You've already mentioned so much about Native Theatre School in Anpava and CIT. Did you have, I know you were part of the summer program. Was there a particular part of the program that you liked? Like, was there a class, or was it just the whole thing itself just?
I think it was cool to, I think I got the most from Sadie Buck. I loved her leadership style, and the softest I ever saw her was when I talked to her about whether she had kids. And she got so soft when she talked about her son. But I loved watching her leadership style. I think it intimidated the heck out of some people, but it's just fun to witness, everyone's way. I think writing with Lee Miracle, whether it's at CIT or any chance I get to write with Lee, is always a treat. The powwow dancing was grueling because, that was grueling. Like, I remember not being able to move. that was the hard part. But I think it was just, it really propelled me to feel, I think the biggest thing I got out of it was when they said, Carol Grey Eyes told us the story about the word shy and the origins. And I love etymology. And she said that shy comes from the British Benevolent Society, a tradition after Boxing Day. And they would go knocking, church people would go knocking on doors and ask the rich, do you have anything to give? And the rich could respectfully say, I feel shy. And it translates, I'm not willing to give. So when some of the students were showing this sense of shyness, she kind of slowed us all down and told us that story. She said, because theater is all or nothing. You cannot be on the stage and not be fully in the theater moment. You can't be anything. You can't, shy doesn't fit into that. You can't not be willing to give, because theater is all about giving. You serve your audience, and it just indelible, because I serve the community as a counselor. I'm a servant anyway, right? In different ways in my career, educator, I serve in different ways. And it just showed me that confidence comes with being willing to give, right? And I think that's what really helped me, not just as a theater person, but as an Indigenous voice in leadership positions, that I can go to animated and passionate and facts are my friends and make, make very, very strong points. And I had a job interview recently and I said, I don't know if the University of Toronto is ready for me, if this is only a lateral move, because I'm not sure I'm ready to just continue to do minutes and book meetings. I'm ready to make systemic changes. So I don't know if I'm a fit.
Thank you, Jeanette. We appreciate your time. I learned a lot.
And now it's time for our two first-year students, Kihu Buffalo and Francis Gladue, to perform a part of King Lear. Take a look.
What serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, of a prediction I read this other day. What should follow these eclipses?
Do you busy yourself with that?
I promise you, the effects he writes of succeed unhappily. As of a naturalist between the child and parent, death, dearth, dissolutions of ancient amities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against kings and nobles, needless dividences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, and I know not what.
How long have you been a secretary astronomical?
Come. When saw you our father last?
The night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word nor countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself, wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence until some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rageth in him, that with the mischief of your person, it would scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you have a continent forbearance till the speed of his rage goes slower, and as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother.
Brother, I advise you to the best. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning towards you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly, nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. a credulous father and a brother's noble, whose nature is so far from doing harm that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practice is right easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me's meet, that I can fashion fit.
Now here are the requirements in order to apply to the Center for Indigenous Theater. You must identify as First Nations, Métis, or Inuit. You must be 18 years of age or older. You need to have a grade 10 English level or higher. Have an interest in acting, movement, voice, self-discovery, and theater, as well as an interest in exploring Indigenous knowledge.
There are important documents that you are required to submit when applying to CIT. They include an updated resume, a 500-word essay expressing your interest in theater and coming to CIT, 2 references that can vouch for your interest in theater, a photocopy of your health card, and an audition video of you doing some script work. To make things easier, we've created a video on how to do an audition at CIT. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Sam Twin. I'm a 4th year student here at Center for Indigenous Theater.
Hi, I'm Teresa Cutniff, and I'm also a 4th year student at the Center for Indigenous Theater.
We'll give you some tips and tricks on how to do your monologues and get them sent into CIT.
Yes, so first find an age-appropriate monologue for yourself. Use something from the Indigenous canon, something like from Thompson Highway, Drew Hayden Taylor, Kenneth T. Williams. Do you have any more?
Keith Barker, Alanis King. And if you have any troubles finding anything like that, you could email CIT and we'll provide you with a monologue.
So Sam, what did you do for your audition into CIT?
I did Isaac from Thunderstick by Kenneth Williams. What about you? What did you do?
I was sent a collection of different story pieces from Coyote City. What to wear? Wear something simple, neutral colors, something that you're comfortable and confident in.
Yep. And you know, there's not really a time limit for it, but it should be around 3 minutes.
If you have any other skills that you want to show, like singing, dancing, hand drumming, anything and everything, feel free to submit it. But you do have to have a monologue.
Unless, of course, you're a storyteller and you have a story, then you could submit that instead of the monologue, but no accents, please.
And the most important thing is to have fun. And if you stumble, that's okay.
Yep.
You can do it over and over as many times as you feel. Have any other difficulties like doing your monologue or audition?
Probably the hardest part was memorizing it all, and I had somebody film it for me. I did not know that it was best to film it with a neutral background, so I filmed it just in a living room and there was a lot of things in the background, but it worked out. And you don't need a professional camera. We're doing this on an iPhone 10. You can stack it up on some books or put it on a table, whatever you gotta do. As long as it's capturing basically from half of your torso up so we can see your shoulders and your head. You could have a relative or somebody hold the camera for you and you can just send that into CIT.
Have fun.
Some ongoing requirements to remain in the program are that you must be on time and present for all classes, and you must be actively looking for funding while you attend your studies. Tuition costs each year are $3,750. If you are unable to receive band funding, there are organizations you can submit applications to for funding. These include, but are not limited to, Inspire Foundation, Métis Nation of Ontario, Canada Post, Mississaugas of the Credit, and other local organizations. If you are in need of funding assistance, contact us at the Center for Indigenous Theater. No student is ever turned away due to lack of funding.
Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like us on Facebook.
We would like to thank our funders, With their generous support, we are able to provide a school for our students. We thank the Department of Canadian Heritage, the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council, Misway Beak Aboriginal Employment and Training, BMO Financial Group, Hastings Park Foundation of Rights and Freedoms, and Ontario Arts Foundation.
Thank you for attending our program info session. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you soon.